Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining today. When we were in 2025, we were largely ruled by the laws of Mars. In 2026, the astrological body that's going to have the biggest impact on us is the sun. And sun, being so mighty and powerful, so bright, giving light to everything, is such an important astrological body for us to focus on. So in 2026, if you want to achieve success, you shouldn't be focusing on other planets. Yes, of course, you can do things to enhance the other planets, but the rules of this year are made by Sun, which means today we are going to talk about what does it mean that you have to activate your Sun. So this year, to get success, it's not about just doing. Doing was last year. Last year was the year of Mars because the total of 2025, it all the numbers added up to 9, which is a Mars number. 2026, the numbers add up to 1. That represents Sun. Now, for the Sun to be really out and alive and bright, it means first you have to be living in an area or a place that is tied to your sun or aligns with your sun. For example, if someone has sun in their 8th house or the 12th house, which is behind the scenes houses, living in your home country may not bring out your sun, which means may not bring out your full potential. You will be unable to be the true, authentic version of you. You may not even know of a version of you that exists until you go to a foreign land. But for other sun placements, like this is especially like sun in first or sun in fifth and fourth house, like your home country is where your light should shine. And if you have like eclipses or other planetary associations that are impacting your light, you need to work on that. This year is not about communication. This year is not about branding. This year is not about work, like hard work. This year is really about shining light on your authentic self, like really truly expressing yourself in your true, authentic, full expression. There should be no version of you that is dull, like, not like a dull knife, but a sharp, really sharp knife, a really sharp tool, like your true, authentic version needs to come out. Now, often, like, sometimes when we are at home, we are a certain version in front of our parents, in front of our family. And when we go to work, we are a totally different person. Now, think about that. Why are you doing that? Right? Like, why is it that you're not really expressing your true self in certain scenarios? Now, in such scenarios, maybe you feel like, you're expected to behave in a certain way. At home, I'm expected to just say yes to everything. At work, I'm just expected to say yes to everything and be very docile and not speak up. But if that is inherently like inside of you, you feel like to play that role, you're hiding yourself, you're hiding your true self, then you need to do something about it because this year is about leadership. This year is about discipline, like how sun is very disciplined. It works out every day. It eats well at the same time every day. So it's about discipline. It's about really being bright and shining, which means not just physically looking really, really good. That's also a very important factor. This year is about getting attention. Like, sun is like something that's out there that everyone gives attention to. It's like you cannot ignore the sun. So you need to get attention on yourself, which means you need to do certain things to like make sure looking well, looking good, dressed well, smelling good, all of those things. And in addition, you need to make sure that you're being a true authentic self. Like if you want to speak in a certain way and that's your authentic self, then do so. If you need to like be writing certain things, then do so, but be your true authentic self. And that's the message I wanted to kind of leave for you for 2026 because it's impossible to really get massive success this year if you're still kind of working off of the older transits, older paradigms. This year is about the sun. Of course, other transits will impact you. Your personal birth chart, your personal transits will impact you. But broadly, this year is about leadership coming out, like shining your light on yourself, really working on your personal presence. I'm going to give you a couple of astrology based specific tips and remedies that will really help you in this year of the sun. The first one is performing Surya Namaskar. You can look for any videos, or it's also called sun salutations. But basically, this is like you do this early in the morning with the first rays of the sun hitting you. And this is like a yoga pose that you repeat a couple of times. I would suggest do it a minimum of 3 times, 7 times. Continue to do it in increments till you're able to sustain a good, like I would say at least minimum 21 times. There's a whole sequence that you need to perform to complete one round, but you need to do 21 times of those, because again, 21 is also like three, we want to do lucky numbers of everything. So it's a really auspicious number for you to be kind of doing the number of sun salutations and Surya Namaskar. The next tip is, if you can get a copper vessel, a small copper vessel, in this copper vessel, put some water, a little bit of milk, a few drops of jaggery and sugar, like very little, just tiny pinch of sugar, a tiny pinch of jaggery, and offer this water to the sun. Again, this is done early morning. Look towards the sun, and if you have a balcony, if you don't have a balcony, wherever you're able to see the sun from, and you can just pour the water down, just pour it on the ground. And it's like offering water to the sun, because the sun, being so hot and parched, is also heated, and you're offering, like when you offer water to the sun gives you its blessings. Another important thing to remember this year is that sun represents your bosses, it represents authority figures, it represents your father figures. So it's really, really important that you respect them. Kind of really be obedient as much as possible. If you have any concerns, you be upfront and speak with them, especially with authority figures, which is like, government officials, police, and all of these things. Try not to lie, like, because especially when the eclipses hit, there are always eclipses throughout the year, right? So when the eclipses hit, eclipsing, like especially the solar eclipses, if you have lied to the authorities, those lies come to light. So it's very important that you don't lie. This is not the year that you can lie and really go ahead in life. Another very important tip that I want to give for this year is to avoid gluten as much as possible. So last year, since it was the year of Mars, I had asked you to like stop or reduce having sugar, added sugar especially, and sugary products, right? But this year, being the year of the sun, it's all about gluten. So really reduce gluten, and you will start, no, like it's not just a health thing. When you change the sun frequency, it impacts many different things in your life. So reduce consuming gluten. And on Sundays is the day of the sun. On Sundays, try to fast every Sunday. Do a simple water fast throughout the day. And then in the evening, you can have one meal with whatever choice of food that you prefer having. But on Sundays, really start fasting and dedicate that day to the sun. And when sun gets pleased, the blessings come your way. You can also on Sundays donate bread, right? Bread, again made of wheat, represents sun, and donating bread fixes any malefic sun alignments that you may have in your birth chart. So that's all I had for you today. 2026 is going to be a great year for all of us. So let's work in really ensuring that we shine our full light. We come out nice and bright and not hiding parts of ourselves behind, our all our insecurities. Let's shed all of our insecurities and really be our natural self in every possible way. There's nothing for us to hide. This is one short life. Let's really be our full expression here. I hope you like this video. Thank you so much. Please do comment and, share and subscribe. It will really help. I've been kind of posting for a very long time, so your support is very much appreciated. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.